Okay, today we have the pleasure of bringing Shams-Tabriz into this video. He is my mentor and has been for probably about a year or two now. Welcome.
Thanks so much, Kate. I feel very honored to be welcome, into your circle and to participate with you here.
Yeah, it's really honestly so exciting to bring Shams in, and we're actually going to be doing more work together with all of you. Some of you have had the experience of being able to work with Shams and have experienced profound results. And Shams is a whole nother level of support, and we just can't wait to bring you into the work that we're doing.
From my perspective, I'm thrilled working with Kate, not only as her mentor, and she's correct, we've been working together for quite some time, but I'm thrilled to see what she's been accomplishing within her community as well. It's mind-blowing, and I continue to just see her reaching for more and more and more and bringing greater and greater value. And so for me, this is a personal thrill.
Yeah, it's exciting. Lots of you have watched my videos, and I have talked about a mentor that helped me out of the affair situation. I met Shams after being in the affair. So you might be putting two and two together, but it's actually, Shams has extremely elevated my healing journey that happened dating and then everything after the affair situation. But the way we know each other is I met his wife in Bali about 5 years ago.
Before she was my wife.
Before I didn't know you. And we were very good friends, and then COVID happened and we were separated, and then you guys came together, and then I came back. So we live in Bali, in different towns in Bali, and that's how I got introduced to you and your work. Yeah. So today we're going to be essentially offering an elevated program. At the moment, I offer the support community where women in affairs can come to and get support. And then we also have private coaching where you can come have private individual support with me. But now we're going to be collaborating and offering a real elevated program. So firstly, when you're helping others, like for example, myself, I always am investing in higher individuals that can really help me be the best version of myself and be able to help you at the greatest level. And so I'm really excited to be bringing you and incorporating you into a program together so that we can massively elevate the healing journey, not just in affair relationships, but in life, right?
I think there's a great opportunity. For those of you who don't know, Kate has actually recommended several of her clients to work with me individually. And I think it can be much more meaningful for us to really be doing this work together. And so, yeah, I see great possibilities.
Yeah. So did you want to tell them a bit more about the elevated program that we're going to be offering?
Yeah, so perhaps a little bit about myself first.
Yeah,
my name is Shams-Tabriz, and I am a mentor. My work is very much focused on assisting individuals in healing from what I playfully refer to as the shadows of old. Shadows are the wounds and the beliefs and the patterns that we have formed, wounds that we have suffered through our lives, experiences that have impacted us deeply, and sometimes in a conscious way, many times even in a subconscious way, and caused us to then experience life in an incomplete way. And that's a very gentle way of describing lives in which we're not really fulfilled, or we find ourselves experiencing things or choosing for experiences that are not ultimately rewarding on a very deep and profound level. And my work is very much focused on examining these things with deep insight. I have a gift of intuition. It's perhaps this is My wife would laugh when I choose to use that word because she says it doesn't quite deeply describe what my gift is. But for 30 years, I have been on my own personal journey of discovery. And a big part of that journey was very much a spiritual journey. And through the course of all of that, I formed a very, I would simply call it an enhanced intuitive capacity. And I have the ability to see more deeply what might lie beneath the surface. I have a capacity to receive insights and clarity around things that wouldn't normally be accessible just by the common mind. And so that I have folded into my work now. So it's not only about the healing journey, but it's very much about empowerment and liberation and freeing individuals to step out of the old shadows and really live lives of brilliance, happiness, love, and understanding what these are in truth, what it is to live a truly happy, free, loving, and abundant life. So that's my purpose in everything that I do. And in the work that Kate and I have been doing with each other one-on-one, that has really been our focus with you, Kate, is really elevating you to discover yourself in more and more magnificent ways. And I know that this has been translating itself into your work as well. And it was from this experience that we've been having together these last months and over a year came the idea that perhaps Kate's community could also benefit from the insights and guidance that I have to offer. And so there are certain very fundamental elements of the healing journey. I've loosely referred to them already. It's really allowing ourselves, finding the courage to see what are the core wounds that are within us that have impacted us. Many of these have arisen in childhood, but regardless of when and how they have arisen, there are wounds that each of us are carrying in life that inform our experience in this world. They inform our identity. They inform our perceptions. They create the beliefs and then the patterns that define our way of being in this world. And oftentimes these are distorted, and they're distorted because it's as if we're seeing the world and seeing ourselves through filters. And if we can learn how to examine first the filters so that we can lay them down, we have an opportunity to change our perceptions of self and of life. And that requires a bit of a healing journey. And so there are emotions that we examine, ideas about ourselves and the world, and relationships that we examine. And then ultimately there is a discovery of who we truly are and an opportunity to expand our idea of who we are in this world, which creates a whole new opportunity for an identity, a new identity. It doesn't mean we're changing who we are. This is not like a spiritual journey in which you are shaving your head and changing your name and choosing to wear robes. Nothing like that at all. It's just a pure invitation to explore what lies beneath the surface of the ice in your life and what has been hidden away deep within our hearts or deep within our memories that deserves to be seen. And so the mentorship that we're crafting, and we're calling it a mentorship, that's how I define my work, and it does stand apart from the brilliant coaching work that you do, Kate. But this mentorship that we're crafting is very much a collaborative effort between Kate and I to help you examine all of these elements in your life that interfere with you being happy and being free of your experience of suffering and struggling in relationships, so that you can have that true sense of fulfillment and love and connection that you deserve.
Shams has the ability to, if you've been working with therapists or healers or people to support you on your journey for a number of years, you have the ability to immediately, directly say exactly what it is. And you can feel this, sense this, see this before even we ourselves may not even notice what's going on. And it's just like suddenly the needle has moved. and healing can be so fast and direct, and it is incredible and insane what you can see in us.
Yeah, it amazes me as well. I'll be very honest with you. It does. I'll often come out of my sessions with individuals and I'll be celebrating, oh, look what happened today. And I saw this image in my mind and I presented it in this way. And there was just a lightning bolt moment. It's like, not lightning bolt, a light bulb moment. It's like, that's what it is. And it's a very rewarding experience for me, actually. I love my work for that reason, is because it's like you say, I'm able to just cut through the fog and see what needs to be seen.
Yeah.
And as you know, this is why, this idea of us working together feels just so right, is because both of us understand this deep compassion, this element of compassion. And the work that we do is deeply compassionate in this way, and it must be. There's no room for judgment or shame or guilt in any of this, because that's what the human condition is. The human condition is messy.
Yeah.
It's filled with complications. It's filled with confusion, and it's filled with bad choices as well. And there's no good or bad ultimately, but when we speak of bad choices, it's filled with choices that we make that don't necessarily serve us to our highest fulfillment. But that's what life is.
And we judge ourselves for.
We judge ourselves, we condemn ourselves, we feel powerless in our situations, and yet we continue to hunger for that ultimate fulfillment.
Yeah.
But that's who we are, and that's what life is. And to be able to free ourselves from all of the pain and shame that is associated with this, so that we can navigate beyond the suffering, beyond the wounding, beyond those old patterns and old beliefs that diminish us, and be empowered, right? And so, yes, it's exciting. It's joyful work. It's really, really enjoyable work.
Yeah. Another thing that you're incredibly good at is, a lot of us, when we've been through, I guess, life, we haven't really tapped into a lot of what experiences how they have impacted us emotionally, and we can't connect to that. And you can directly speak to those emotions that may be so far deep down, and then as soon as you use certain words, it's like, oh my God, that's exactly what I have been feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the power in the work that you do as well.
Yeah.
Is that in that compassionate space that you create with your clients, you are able to help them recognize what is going on. It happens through the conversation. It happens even intuitively. There's just a knowing, there's a recognition of what it is that any particular client may be sharing with you. And by you hearing them and reflecting it back to them, there is that aha moment. And so that is very similar to what I do, is I just have a recognition in the moment of what that emotion is that they're experiencing, that perhaps they're not quite recognizing, and that is impacting them so powerfully. And with our emotions are meant to be seen.
Experienced.
They are meant to be experienced and felt. And unfortunately, for most of society, we've learned to deny our emotions.
Yeah.
It's almost a suppression of emotions. And there's a space and a time to feel, and there's not a space and a time to feel.
It's like more mature to hold it in.
Right? And so we're becoming less and less human in that regard. Our true humanness is defined by such a liberation of emotion.
Yeah.
But it's through that healed state that we are empowered, but still able to access all emotion. I often use the metaphor of an instrument. What would an instrument be? What would a flute be if so many of those notes were simply blocked off? You can't play the music that you're designed to play. And that's where we're feeling at a loss oftentimes in life, is that we ourselves are closed off from our fullness, our full capacity.
Full expression. Yeah.
Right?
Beautiful. So with our advanced mentorship, we're going to be offering this to couples and also individuals who are seeking healing.
The format that we've envisioned is a series of sessions in which Kate and or I will be involved with you directly, and just working week by week on examining these very topics that we have discussed, but it's very personalized. It's very personal to the experiences that you are having, the things that you want to move through. Our objective at the end of the day in this mentorship is really to free you, to liberate you, to experience your brilliance. And that is the word that we use to define happiness, freedom, joy, love, success in your personal lives, success in your family lives, success in your relationships, success in your work, in your career. All of it is interrelated, even though very much the focus in your lives is around your relationship concerns. And that's what this community is very much about. It's impossible to deny that these challenges that you face within this area of your life is also impacting other areas of your life. And that's the richness of and the depth of support and that we want to provide. And this brings up, if I may, another point is this is not just a support container that we're creating. The vision that we have for this container is to take you on that journey of, and we use this word healing, but it is healing. But healing in a way that empowers you and frees you from living in an unfulfilling way. And what that looks like is not for us to determine.
Yeah.
That's different for each individual. There is no right or wrong. There is no precise formula that defines this paradigm is what is correct for you and you and you and you. No. What's right for one, what is true for one, isn't necessarily right and true for another. Fundamentally, all we can ever do is hope to free you to be empowered and living brilliantly in your life, any way that you decide to do.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
100%. Yeah. Yeah, so that essentially encompasses the program and the work that we're going to be doing. There may be quite a few of you that have questions on would couples program be more beneficial or the individual. If you have any questions around that, we can answer that in either the discovery call that we're going to do together, or you can email me and we can answer more of those questions. But if you are interested in doing this 3-month program with us, then, or it's just over 3 months, then you can click the link below and book in a call with Shams and I, and we can talk about the potential that you have here in joining on this program. So before we wrap up, Shams, I really want to also just talk on the work that you're doing here in Bali. How long have you been in Bali here?
This year marks 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey to be here. For a few years leading up to me coming to Bali, I was on the move. So I had been based in Canada for many, many years. I grew up in Southern California. I ventured off on a journey to write. I felt really just inspired and called to write. And so I first moved to Sedona, Arizona, and I think I was there for 1.5 years. And then I wound my way to Thailand, to Koh Samui, which was a destination that I had visited several times over many years, to this beautiful retreat resort at the south end of the island. And then I felt the call to come to Bali. I'd never been before. I actually didn't know much about it. I am not big in social media, or at least at that time had not been. And so people had mentioned Bali. I knew that it was a desirable destination, but I knew very little else about it. And then I came, and my cousin was actually here at that time, and she was teaching. So that brought me to this island, and very soon I anchored myself here. I ended this time of, I guess it was a sabbatical, where I was purely devoted just to writing my books. And I met my wife, and it was at that point that I made the decision to start my work again. And so the initial thing that I introduced were weekly gatherings. I call them wisdom sessions, in which I would just gather with a group of individuals, and we would bring forward insights, wisdom, and guidance in response to any questions that they had. But this was all done with a clear focus in mind around the work. And so at this point in time, we have moved into a beautiful property here on the south end of the island, and we're actually filming from our home here in Uluwatu. And we are building a retreat space that will be supporting both the work that my wife Joanna and I are doing, and hopefully also individuals like Kate as we develop what we're doing here. My work is very much focused on mentoring individuals as well as groups who want to take their lives to a whole new level. This is about once and for all stepping off the treadmill of spiritual healing experiences and breath work and inner child work, and there tends to be a treadmill of having experiences that can at times be very rewarding, but not truly moving through a profound healing and finding your sense of clarity and strength and purpose in this world. And so these mentorships, individual as well as group mentorships and partnership mentorships that I offer and have been offering have really been focused upon the empowerment of individuals and taking individuals to the next level where they can truly begin to awaken to deeper aspects of themselves that even they have not known, and discovering gifts that they have. Because when we are in that empowered, healed state, there is so much to our nature that begins to emerge, so much more to who we are. And so in essence, that is the work that I do.
So Shams is going to be coming into the community as well to do similar to what he does in his own work, but specifically for women that are going through affair relationships. So if you are in the community, you can look out for that. And if you're not, then come into the community and you'll be able to also jump in on all of that value.
I'm really looking forward to it, Kate. I thank you very much for this invitation. I'm really excited for what we will create here.
Yeah.
I think it can be life-changing.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. So thank you for coming on. Yeah. Beautiful.
Thank you.